Yeah, when we got here this afternoon, that officer was still working on that police report. This troop says that they sold 1,400 boxes of cookies. They said that earned the Girl Scouts $4,900, and 711 of that was supposed to come back to their troop, but now they say they have nothing. Some have dubbed it Gray Thursday. Stores opening earlier and earlier. People trying to get a jump start on their holiday shopping. It's happening online, too. Companies that monitor internet sales reported a 50% increase in sales Thanksgiving Day and a 19% increase in sales the 3 days leading up to Thanksgiving. We talked to Cobb County Police today. They said they wouldn't comment publicly because of pending litigation, but said that Barnes was arrested under Georgia Code 161139. We looked that up and found that it is illegal to use fighting words that tend to provoke violent resentment. In 2010, when Metro Atlanta's unemployment rate was at 10%, Stella & Dot started to grow. It had 156 sales reps locally. By 2012, the company had more than doubled its reps to 317.
Channel 2's Liz Artz has been working this story all day. She joins us now live from Johns Creek. And Liz, this woman says he stalked her and left her gifts, which included raw meat.
Police think that he should have been reassigned to a route far from here. This is the paperwork that they have compiled on him so far today. He was arrested on this street as he delivered mail to that house. Police say he was arrested because he was not within 500 yards of his victim. Mr. Snyder, what happened out here today?
I've had a restraining order that was 500 yards.
Only Channel 2 Action News was there when police arrested mail carrier Greg Snyder for aggravated stalking while delivering mail on his route in Johns Creek. Did you say sexual inappropriate things to her?
No comment.
The 62-year-old had been arrested weeks earlier and charged with disorderly conduct. He's accused of harassing this mother of two who asked us not to use her name.
Opening the door to the mailman is something that I've always thought was safety.
She went to police after she says Snyder showed up at her house 3 times in one day. She took pictures of raw meat she said he left on her doorstep, but it was sexual comments he's accused of making that made it criminal.
I feel very violated. I feel I'm in fear that I was once safe in my home.
She shot this cell phone video and got a restraining order after she says the post office wouldn't move Snyder to another route outside of her neighborhood.
I feel like I'm being violated over and over again, being put in a position where I have to see him after I've put a protection order in place.
He violated that order Friday. Police say he was within 500 yards of her home.
He had been advised as recent as yesterday that he had to stay 500 yards away from her, and that did not happen today.
He crossed a line, and he's still delivering mail in my neighborhood. And I contacted the U.S. Postal Service today. I did get several phone calls back. They told me that they are working on a statement to release, but as of right now, I have not received that statement. The victim says that while she's thrilled about today's arrest, she still has fears. My colleague Robert Ray is putting that part of the story together for Channel 2 Action News at 6. Live in Johns Creek in North Fulton County, Liz Artz, Channel 2 Action News.
Liz is live on Snapfinger Road where firefighters pulled that woman to safety. Liz?
Davita, she was pulled from that flooded water just right down the road here. She said as the water rose in her car, she was able to actually break free from her seatbelt. She said at that point she saw a bright light and she was so disoriented, she thought for a moment that she had died and was experiencing brightness.
It's crazy because after I prayed, I felt a peace too, and I thought it was me making peace with death.
In an exclusive interview, Yolanda Parker told us her brakes gave out Wednesday on Snapfinger Road. She said she swerved to miss the car in front of her and ended up in the flooded, swift-moving creek below.
I thought I was gonna die. So I said my final prayer, you know. I was just like, God, please forgive me all my sins and please continue to watch and keep my kids.
Parker was overcome with emotion Wednesday when she talked about the thought of never seeing her 3 children again.
My kids.
She told us she was able to release her seatbelt and break free from her car.
And I can't swim, so I ended up going back under. But I was like, no, you know, I got to see that light again, like,
She said she grabbed every branch she could reach.
They kept breaking, you know, and it just kept pushing me further and further and further.
Firefighters found her a quarter of a mile downstream. She said she clung on for 20 minutes, singing Alabama Shakes.
Bless my heart, bless my soul.
This picture was taken 10 minutes after the rescue. She described the moment she heard DeKalb County firefighters.
I just knew I was okay, you know. I knew I was okay.
She calls it a miracle, but is so grateful to the men and women who saved her.
I just want to give all of them a big hug, like.
She also said she is so thankful to those people who called 911 and stuck around to make sure that she was okay. She said it restored her faith in people. Live in DeKalb County, Liz Artz, Channel 2 Action News, Night Beat.
I think a reunion is a great idea too, but Liz, you know, it is just amazing that she was not critically hurt, that her injuries weren't more serious than what we're seeing.
Yeah, Jovita, she said she had a couple of bruises. She said that she does need to use an inhaler right now and a breathing machine because she sucked in so much water, but she said that's temporary, and I think that reunion is going to happen soon.
All right, well, good to see her, Liz. Thank you.
Channel 2's Liz Artz live now in East Point. And Liz, the woman will stay in jail overnight.
She will. A death to all white cops nationwide. That's just one threat that she is accused of making on her Facebook page under the screen name Tiffany Milan. Well, tonight, Ebony Dickens is in jail here at the East Point Police Department, and police say that she will be transported to the Fulton County Jail tomorrow.
I thought about shooting every white cop I see in the head until I'm either caught by the police or killed by them.
East Point Police Lieutenant Cliff Chandler reads from a Facebook post. He says Ebony Dickens typed Monday afternoon. The 33-year-old is accused of making threats in a paragraph-long rant under the name Tiffany Milan. The post states, quote, "I condone black-on-white killings." It goes on to say, "I've thought about shooting every white cop I see in the head," and stated, "Might kill at least 15 tomorrow. I'm plotting now."
That's 15 people that she's talking about killing within a day or so. So whether she was serious or not, that's something that we have to take serious.
East Point Police teamed up with the DA's office, the GBI, FBI, Homeland Security, and NYPD. The post was even shared on our WSB Facebook page. We took it down immediately and reported it to Atlanta Police and our FBI contacts.
Oh my God, I'm shocked. I just can't believe that my neighbor would do something like that.
It took cops less than 24 hours to search Dickens' condo and take her into custody.
I don't think that she anticipated that we would respond as quickly as we did.
Dickens has been charged with disseminating information related to terrorist acts in the midst of the Baltimore riots and on the heels of several police shootings. Dickens' neighbor finds this unbelievable.
Very dangerous and kind of careless of her to even put something like that on Facebook. Oh yeah, that's scary. I just can't believe she did that.
Now, during that search, police seized cell phones, computers, even a handgun. They say that this investigation is still ongoing and she could even face federal charges. Live in East Point in South Fulton County, Liz Artz, Channel 2 Action News, Night Beat.
This is the Channel 2 Action News Night Beat. Coverage you can count on.
Good evening, I'm Liz Artz in for Wendy Corona.
And I'm Dave Huddleston.
Happening now, tracking the tropics as we approach peak hurricane season. Severe Weather Team 2 has its eye on the Atlantic and the Gulf. Meteorologist Katie Walls is in Severe Weather Center 2. And Katie, a couple of things to watch. New developments, some Delta passengers on a flight that made an emergency landing in Florida are back in Atlanta tonight. An airline spokeswoman says that they arrived here at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport at 7 p.m. Delta Flight 1827 from Fort Lauderdale was diverted to Orlando today. Mechanics are looking into a problem that forced the pilot to land the plane early. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating after a plane's engine ripped apart, leaving New Orleans. A passenger took this photo. Oxygen masks deployed as the Southwest Airlines flight made a safe emergency landing in Pensacola, Florida, Saturday morning.
Mike Pence will be campaigning in Metro Atlanta tomorrow.
But tonight there is more name calling in the presidential race, and this time the attacks are not coming from the candidates, but from their supporters. A developing story. We are learning more about two brothers charged with killing the cousin of NBA superstar Dwayne Wade. Chicago police say 22-year-old Darren Sorrells is a known gang member, and his 26-year-old brother Darwin was sentenced to 6 years on a gun charge. Both were recently paroled. 32-year-old Nakia Aldridge was pushing a baby stroller Friday when she was caught in crossfire and shot in the head and arm. Her mother says that Aldridge's 4 grandchildren are devastated.
They support each other. You know, they cry to each other. They tell each other, you know, they miss their mom.
Police are still looking for the murder weapon. Tonight, 5 people face possible murder charges after police say they attacked this woman, then set her on fire. The 83-year-old died from her injuries this week. Channel 2's Nicole Carr is live outside the Meriwether County Jail tonight. And Nicole, this woman was a fighter. A veteran 911 dispatcher fired for her response to a call. The interaction her bosses are calling unprofessional. A 911 operator is off the job tonight after leaders in Waterbury, Connecticut called her interaction with a caller unprofessional.
70?
Number 70.
70 is 70. That's what 70 is. 7 and a 0.
A Chinese food delivery driver called for help when someone shot his passenger during a robbery. Operator Nicole Scarino grew increasingly agitated. Police quickly arrested the suspects, but the passenger died. The operator's conduct is under formal review. Zach, thank you, and thank you for counting on Channel 2 Action News.